it. Now, just a very short thing, something technical about aromatics in wine. So for wine itself, we all know that wine, we divide them into three types of aromas. The primary aromas, and then we have the secondary aromas and the tertiary aromas. So in terms of primary aromas, the source of the aroma comes from three families. One is what we call the pyrazine. So pyrazine account for the green notes in white wine, also in red wine. And if you want to make a wine, depending on the style that you want. So the New Zealander, for example, when they make the Sauvignon Blanc, deliberately, I think they magnify a bit that sensation of pyrazine in them. That's why you got a lot of grassiness and green notes in New Zealand wine. It's about when you pick the wine, so if you pick the wine earlier, you get more pyrazine. So that's the foundation of that. So in Bordeaux, I think we don't have the extremes of New Zealand style of in terms of pyrazine. So the other two aromas that we have in the primary aromas is first the thiol. Okay, the thiol is a sulfur-based aroma. And this aroma account for things like your grapefruits, your the citrusy notes in wine come from this family called the thiol. Okay, and the other one is the terpenes, another family called the terpenes. So the terpenes account for very fruity aroma that you get, for example, all the lychee, rose, this kind of aromatic come from a family called the terpenes. So in winemaking, it's about how, with the use of technical winemaking, choice of yeast, that you can help to privilege certain generation of this kind of aromas in the white wine. Just give you a sense of the things. And in secondary aroma will be how you do the winemaking. So when you do the winemaking, you have, for example, aging on oak barrel that give you a bit of this spiciness from oak itself. Even just to digress a bit, spiciness coming from wine, some of them are actually primary aromas, some of them are actually secondary aromas. So in wine, when you smell things like sweet spice, okay, it comes from the oak. When you smell peppery spice, it is a grape variety aroma. So it's a primary aroma and a secondary aroma. So it's up to the winemaker to play with that. So then tertiary aromas are evolved aromas as in the aging process, before bottling or after. So it's a lot of reaction between acids and alcohol once it's been formed. And that evolution continuously will take place in the bottle itself. So that's why when you bottle and age your wine, you get very beautiful aromas at the end, very complex aromas. Okay, very short illustration. So when we look at these two, allow me to sit now, okay? And you have a Sud-du-Rhône and a Bordeaux, and the Bordeaux is a younger wine than Sud-du-Rhône. Sud-du-Rhône is 2011, the Bordeaux is 2014. But when you look at the wine, you see that which one has a darker shade. Deeper tone is the Bordeaux. So I think here is then to give you a sensation to look at it, say, hey, what sort of things have gone into the wine to make the wine a little bit more darker in shade than compared to this one. One of the possibility is aging in oak barrel. Because aging in oak barrel allows the wine to micro-oxygenate, and that will help to so-called, when you know that once you oxygenate the wine change color a little bit. So you have a bit of darker tone. So you might have the suspicions that, and Sauvignon, we all know that most of the time they age the wine in oak barrel, and to give the wine a little bit of creaminess and also a little bit of oiliness and all that. So let's taste the two wine, and wine is always good to do a comparison. So the first one, the Sud-du-Rhône. So you just nose the two together. I think straight away you notice in the first wine that freshness despite the fact that it's a much older wine, 2011, you sense more freshness, more fruitiness than in this second wine itself. And I think certainly that would confirm that what we call the assumption that wine in second wine is more oak than the first one. And nothing can be confirmed until you smell it. If you can get the oak into it, it's good. But I think nothing better than tasting it to see. So let's try the first one. I think the wine full of acidity, and you can sense there's not much, like we say, the greenish note. I think that would have, given the 2011 vintage, it's very unlikely for you to get that sense anymore. That would have evolved. So you want to talk about the green notes, you really have to try a wine that is very young. Okay, but you sense that the wine is still full of acid, and certainly in terms of the flavor on the palate itself, the what we call the finish of it, I can sense that it's quite lasting in a sense. Okay, so sometimes I also like to share a little bit of what do you mean by a wine have a long finish. Okay. There's a lot of, sometimes people just use the term quite frequently. I think it's good to also have a sense of what do you mean by a long finish on the palate. Now, wine evolves, okay? And a good wine is a wine that is very persistent. That means it has generated a lot of aromatic in the whole process. And during even ripening of the grapes, a lot of aromatic has been generated. Otherwise, that concentration, that intensity of the aromatic would help the wine to give you the persistence when you drink it of the flavor. It's very much like a good champagne. Champagne is good is because you really pack in the millions of bubbles in during bottle fermentation. And when you open it up, it takes a long time for the bubbles to dissipate out. So one of the measurements of the quality of champagne is the intensities of the bubbles. So for wine, is the intensity of the flavor and more so the persistence of the flavor that we taste. So as you drink the wine, the flavor landed up on the palate, and it starts to react because you have a different pH on the tongue, very much. That's why when you smell the wine, you drink the wine is different because of the environment is very, very different. So you feel that the wine start to evolve and start to change, more flavor get generated. And that's why you see that what we call that lasting flavor finish is being generated from a good wine. Okay? So for me, this wine, I think beautiful. I think we have to look. A lot of things is also a measure of quality and price. So everything can be beautiful if you give me enough money. Okay? So let's try the second one.